Hey guys, welcome back to episode 1 2.0. I'm
Yep.
Yaya,
And B.
and this is Chillin N.
Chismeando.
Yeah,
Yeah, so welcome back. We had to do a redo. We had 50 views, and from those 50 views, we got some constructive criticism.
yeah.
Everything was whack.
In the
I'm just
most
kidding.
sweetest way. Like,
I know, right?
no, yeah, everything. They just want us to redo the whole background because they couldn't hear her. Obviously, we saw,
And I'm
and
a loud ass bitch, so when they
yeah,
say they can't hear me, what?
we have a problem.
That's something new to me.
And then for myself, my they didn't love my background because I'm not just a mom, so they want me to kind of show off. I don't like to show off, but here we go.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. And as you can see, we are all dressed up in the
Yes.
festive moment. So we are doing this for Dia de los Muertos.
Mhm.
I have my headpiece on, which my man,
Oh, her
shout out,
man.
uh, helped me out and really supported me. But however, just like our viewers had some criticism, one of my roses fell. So he's fired. No more. No more. No
I was gonna sing "What a Man, what a Man," but
more. What am I?
puras fallas, eh?
So I'm gonna return this.
Who, the man or the flower?
I don't know yet. After the third shot, we'll see.
So we're gonna talk about Dia de los Angelitos and Dia de los Muertos. So
Let's
I'm gonna
get started. Yeah, let's take
I'm
off
gonna
our
take this off
headdresses.
because
Yeah,
we
so
have
that
it
way we
like
can really
like
get
old
set up.
old. Well, I have it like old school phones. You know, back in the day, like, hey, what's going
I'm
on?
like a DJ.
Yeah, yeah.
Remixing.
So let me.
Much better. All right. So, like Yaya said, we're going to be talking. Well, we really want to give a reintroduction of ourselves. One, because you couldn't hear us, and we want
Yes.
to elaborate a little bit more.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll have Yaya get started because this was her idea. This was her baby. And yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get started on this really quick. Again, I think you guys already heard this part. It was at one of my good friends' birthday. I planned it, and I really wanted to start a podcast. I wasn't doing well at that time, and I just think it would be really helpful for people out there that's relatable. We have a lot of stuff that can be relatable to our viewers out there. What else can I say? Like, it started with another friend of mine, but I feel like she was very busy at the time, and I needed some criticism as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I hit up B, not even like thinking that she would be here, actually just asking her for her advice because I know she does her makeup stuff and all that stuff, YouTube, and I needed some help. So then she started giving me ideas, and you know.
It was, Yaya told me what she was doing. She was inspired and was like, you know what, I really want to do this. What do you think? And yeah, and I love when people come to me, and I really do try to give my best advice. I really try to help them. I mean, because if I needed help, I would appreciate somebody just to kind of give me all of their tips and tricks. So anything I could have, I just sent her way. And I was kind of part of the onboarding process where I was like, okay, I really need to, really help her out. So I kind of offered myself, and she's like, you know what? Why don't you co-host with us and with me?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? You're right. It kind of sparked, just hearing her motivated and just excited. It kind of sparked something in me to like, you know what? I want to jump in. I want to join in. I think this would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little bit about ourselves. Just like on our bio, we're just two Latinas from California, Texas. I've lived here in California, San Diego for 2 years now.
How you liking it?
I love it. I really do love it.
She never went back.
I was supposed to only be here for a month. And this is year 2.5 now that I was doing the numbers. And I was like, oh my God, it's been a long time. And I came here for my boyfriend. At the time, wasn't working. I didn't have like my own place really. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I don't have any children. So
She took a risk.
yeah, I took a risk, and I don't know. I'll tell you how it ends up because I don't know. I'm about to sing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited to be here. And then another thing too is my background is more makeup.
As you can tell,
Yeah.
you look really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really more into the makeup industry. I'm getting started into lashing, but many people don't really know this, but I am actually in the workforce as HR, believe it or not. So I have
Oh.
7 years of HR experience. So God, don't make me crack through it. I know
And we're
now.
stricter in California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. We're actually, California really backs up the employee
Yeah.
more so, and for the small business owner, it is pretty. There's a lot of risks out there. So, but I don't feel like that was my passion. My passion is makeup, and when you get into a relationship, you kind of fall into that. I'll serve my boyfriend, or I want to do what he does. I want to attach myself to his life. I have no family here, no friends here, so I just
Desgraciado.
say, I
Sorry.
mean, they just suck you dry. It's like, be my girlfriend and be a part of me. Be my babe.
Right.
Be
Right.
my rib. So now I'm just like, you know what? Let me do what I want to do. And so
Yeah.
I really got back into makeup, back into lashing. So now I'm really pushing to be a entrepreneur and really build my business brand, my beauty brand, I
Oh,
should
so
say.
you a baddie.
I'm trying, girl.
Mm.
I'm trying. Trying to go from
Okay. I feel
housewife
that.
to um, boss.
Right. So we're gonna be in the kitchen later.
I know, right? Now you guys keep making me dinner tonight.
Aw. All right. So again, let me start my intro.
Yeah.
My name is Yadira Elisa Rodriguez Mendoza. Ah.
Okay, we don't need the government name.
No, guys, you already know I'm Yaya. So again, mom. So I work on cars. I put engines together. I take them apart. That's my yeah. I'm a mechanic. I don't really like showing that off just because I feel like it's too much. But some of my viewers were like, no, you need to throw that out there. I feel like I'm very bubbly.
You're like the
I
best of both worlds. I like you can be girly, but then like that mechanic comes in,
yeah.
you're like, let me put you up
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sleeves. What do you
I
know?
grew up with my boys. Like I have two siblings, brothers. Most of my family is all male. So I grew up with males in my life.
He's the
So
man. Nice.
yeah. Or let's go, you know? So what else can I say? I feel like I'm shy at first, but once you get to know me and you start talking to me, I'm funny. Like I think I'm funny. You're freaking hilarious. And I'm a smart ass. I
Yeah,
know I
you know
can
what?
be.
When I met Yaya for the first time, I did not see the shyness. You came
Really?
in like, hey, I'm Yaya, I'm this. I'm like, oh my god, like, and I feel like super connected to you
Oh, cool.
immediately.
Very
So I
cool.
feel like this relationship that we're building right now,
Yeah.
it's a perfect fit. It was meant to be. I feel like.
No, yeah, they say that well, they say, if if you
Google.
click like who's they,
Yeah.
um, if you're really comfortable with someone, it's because you met them in their past life or something
I
like that.
believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Huh.
I feel like even my cousin, who I'm super close to, I always say, um, she's like my daughter in another life.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I really want to get more into detail with our intro. But let's take a quick break. We need to pay some bills. So yeah, we'll be right back.
All right. Hey guys, we're gonna go on a quick break. This episode is brought to you by Maruchan. Let me tell you, Maruchan saved my life. I actually love that soup.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and I'm sure one of you guys listening probably eating Monochan right now.
right,
So
yeah.
enjoy.
Beef or
Provecho.
chicken. Ah.
Marichan, a name your family knows and can trust for quality and great tasting ramen noodle soups.
And we're back from doing nothing. Ah.
I hope you enjoyed the commercial.
So that's pretty much what I want to say about myself. I feel like I'm pretty fun, but you guys will see as we continue on our episodes. Again, if you don't know me, I get shy. Well, if I don't know you, I get a little shy. But once you get me out of my shell, it's party time.
Yeah, and 2 shots.
So let's talk about our topics really quick.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over Dia de los Muertos. We're
Yes.
gonna really go talk about
I
our
sound
love.
guy.
Oh,
I
Lord.
sound guy.
So the reason why we have to do a redo is because of our sound guy.
Uh.
So let's together all fire him.
That was actually some of the votes. We're like, calm down. We're all learning. So,
Let's not beat him up too much.
Right.
He's on probation. One more chance. No, just kidding.
so yeah, Dia de los Muertos. Oh, and Dia de los Angelitos. But Angelitos is before Dia de los Muertos. So a quick description about that. Dia de los Angelitos is pretty much all the babies that passed away. It's kids that just die from SIDS or
Like
yeah, any
any
baby.
causes.
Yeah. And then you have Dia de los Muertos that the adults come in and
Pets as well.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a day for all my no sabo kids. It's okay. There's no shame right here. It's pretty much a day for what the spirit realm to
It's
open up.
it's the day for people here on Earth to kind of recognize and connect to the people that have passed on. It's like a spiritual passage that we're able to really celebrate and really showcase our loved ones that have passed on,
Yeah.
and that's it involves all kinds of things. You know, it can be going to the cemetery
Yeah.
and leaving flowers, which the flower for Dia de los Muertos is marigolds.
Yeah.
And you can also have your own ofrenda. Let's say that you don't go to the cemetery. You can really celebrate your loved ones with having pictures of them and having pan dulce. You can also put your pets on there as well. So it is
Oh,
very, very
shot guy.
a touching um, holiday, I would say. It's something that's very, very important to all the Latino Hispanic culture.
It
My
is.
mom has her own ofrenda, so
Oh,
you know,
really?
yeah, and so I kind of grew up with that. Maybe not Dia de los Angelitos.
Okay.
That's kind of where I kind of fall out of. But Dia de los Muertos is really the big thing where face makeup, celebrating, getting out there. You know, there's a lot of events out there, especially in California. So really want to partake in.
Yeah. It's definitely really big in Mexico for sure. Even like across the border, like Tijuana,
Yeah.
Mexicali, like it is a big holiday over there. A lot of people say that it's the Halloween in Mexico, but it really
It
isn't.
really isn't.
It's just really remembering your loved one. And, they're supposed to like, the loved ones actually cross over to see us on that day. They say that they cross over borders. Damn, that's effed up. Like, we still crossing borders?
I know, from 3,000 years ago.
Even
It's
in the
still a
spirit realm.
dream.
That's crazy. I wonder if they're like, and your papers, like, wait, what do you mean?
And
So,
in Texas, you have to cross a river.
oh no.
Yeah, that is serious. So,
So yeah, they pretty much cross over and they'll meet you at the grave, and you're really just hanging out. They cook their favorite foods, their favorite drinks. They're playing their music. I know that back in the day, my mom, we were just having a conversation about this last week. She told me that our family used to be Catholic, and then we transitioned to Christians.
that is so weird. That's exactly my household.
Yeah.
We were Catholic. We just went to a Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the other way around? I think we were Christian and we converted
To Catholic.
Catholic.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
Catholicism. I think
Yeah.
that's how you say it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So she told me that when she was young, like it was mandatory to go. Dia de los Muertos, my mom got up with, my great grandma, and they had the food ready. They like put it in a car, and they had decorations, drinks. Even my mom said that they rented bandas and all that. Like it's popping over there. So she actually told me if I wanted to go with her this week because, my grandma passed away this year, and Dia de los Muertos, she was like, let's go experience it together so you can see how I grew up. And I'm like, okay, mom, why not? So yeah, it's just one of those things, guys. It's like a holiday over there, just to celebrate your loved ones.
Yeah,
So
with my household now we didn't go that extreme.
mm-hmm.
However, every year my mom always says, "Okay, it's time." We get the ofrenda. We set up the. Well, she actually has an ofrenda or an altar
In the house.
throughout every day.
Oh, okay.
Like that's not even.
And
Just on
which
Dia de los
I feel
Muertos.
like that's traditionally in a Mexican home.
Yeah,
You
they
have
the
your little
candles, they have the
Yeah.
saints.
Yeah.
You have the pictures of your loved ones, and even the pictures of the ones that, like me, I'm on there. So, but I guess on Dia de los Muertos, it's really more towards her pets.
That's and then for those that still don't understand, if you guys seen the movie Coco, it's somewhat like that. They try to do a really good description of it. I think that's as close as it's gonna get, because my dad was saying like there's some things that they missed, but it's, if you guys seen that movie, it's pretty much what it is. Yeah, you'll get the spirit animal and how they guide you and this and that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna kind of go into our loved ones. I kind of want to share a couple of those that passed away, and my top person. Well, I don't want to say my top person, but is my grandpa. My grandpa Salvador, and I call him Ito.
Oh.
It's, I guess it's like abuelito. We can't
Uh-huh.
say it.
Ito.
So we're
Yeah,
like
I've heard
Ito,
eat that from
Ito.
some, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and that is the father of my mom, and
Okay.
and he, when I met him, and I say meet because he had a whole nother life before I came into the picture, before I was
Okay.
born, I should say. He is older. He got, was with my grandma, which is, of course, the mother of my mom, and 20-year difference. So he grew a whole foxtail
Wow.
in, the beginning years. And I kind of heard that, he was a different guy. He was very tough, uh,
Machista?
very,
Ooh.
but even more towards, he wasn't the best husband.
Okay.
But I do want to be respectful and just kind of tell the story of about him through my eyes. I saw a completely different grandpa, and I didn't experience some of the things that my mom experienced.
Well,
Growing
I
up.
feel like when they say that when a parent is a grandfather or
Yeah,
grandmother, they're completely different with their kids to their grandkids.
yeah,
So,
and I believe that.
yeah,
I
me
believe.
too.
I think
My
that's my
parents
mom.
do it all the time. Like, ugh, that's a whole other topic that we're going to talk
I
about
know. It's
too.
like, you would have whooped my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to spank them for you? I will. But no, my grandpa, he was very, very tough. Came into the country. He's from Mexico. He came into the country and was, um, ay, sound guy. No, just kidding. No, he came into the country and not knowing the language, not understanding the customs. Didn't understand, how America worked, but he just knew that it was a lot of opportunity, just like a lot of other parents out there. He crossed over through the Rio Grande, and
Wow.
yeah, with his mom on his back, and millions of people die every year trying to cross. It's not like here in California
Right.
where you can cross over TJ and just walk over.
Yeah.
It's a full journey when you try to cross over Texas.
No, we cross mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, coyotes are there and this and that, but not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's like with rivers that have like underground currents, and it could be aggressive, and it can really, really, it's tough. And he crossed over and met my grandma, had my mom,
Mm.
my tias, and my tios, and so I'm pretty sure, yes, unfortunately,
You know what?
that is what that term
I
comes
didn't
from.
know where that came
Hmm.
from.
Hmm.
Somebody said that to me when I was really little, and I
Yeah.
didn't. I'm sorry. Our sound guy like made a sign saying "wet bag?" question
Wetback.
mark.
Oh my God, that's so like it's such a very bad word, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they refer to Mexicanos in Texas,
Right.
wetbacks.
Well, see, we don't have rivers
Yeah, yeah,
here,
don't. Mhm.
so when somebody said that to me, I was like, "What is
Yeah, what
that?"
do you mean?
Yeah, like
I'm wet.
what? Huh?
So it's like what SPM says, my back is not dry,
Yeah.
because he's from Mexico, or I mean, well, I don't know if he's from Mexico, but like, that's
Yeah.
that's what they refer us, and that's very, or mojados.
Yeah. Oof.
So wetback. So that's
So
basically what the term is from.
your grandpa crossed that then and
Yeah, he
met your
crossed
grandma?
over, met my grandma. My grandma crossed over through a tourist visa and
Oh,
was
okay.
able to really get her own papers legit. Married my grandpa, then my mom, my dad, my mom, my tío, my tía. They were born here in San Antonio, Texas, or in Texas. And so yeah, but going back to my grandpa, when I met him, he was just such a sweet grandpa. Always had candy in his pocket. Always told stories. He that fighter. He was also into boxing. He made the newspaper, and he was really into. I don't know what level he got to, but he was very, very, very tough growing up, from what I've heard. But
Uh-huh.
I just see a polar opposite. He's so sweet, super loving. But yeah, I just want to honor him because he really taught my mom a lot of things that she has passed over to me. And I respect my grandpa, and I know there's a lot of stories out there. um, but he was a ladies' man, but very, very sweet, sweet guy. So I just want to,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. I actually do have two people that I want to talk about. We're going to break. And we're back on Chillin and Chismeando. Before I get into my loved one memory, I guess, story.
Background.
I actually want to go back and do Dia de los Angelitos. Again, it was for all the kids that passed away. I know a couple friends of mine that did lose their babies, and I kind of want to just do a moment of silence, like a 30-second moment of silence, to be respectful because children are a blessing, and
never know when something
Yeah, you
happens, and
know.
it really does. When it doesn't matter what cause. When a
Yeah.
parent buries their child, it's unnatural
Yeah.
and very very sad, and I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So, I definitely would like to
Yeah,
second
we just
that.
want to do a respectful, little moment of silence
Yeah,
for
let me
you.
do my. Let's go ahead and do
Yeah.
it now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hope you cut that out. Goodbye.
I will cut that
Yeah.
out.
My uh,
Sound guy is steady
heartless.
messing up.
You're right. Anyways, again, for all my mamas out there, and even the papas, like, the
Yeah.
daddies, for those who lost
And
babies,
the unborn children too.
yeah, unborn children. I'm going to do a quick story. It's going to get kind of depressing, guys, but just hang in there. I actually do have a story for that. It was a woman who she had her baby, and postpartum depression is real, okay?
The
She
baby blues.
Yeah, she had a moment of weakness, and she actually murdered her child. Yeah, she buried her and then came to realization where it was like, what did I do? And the cops came in, and they told her that, where's the baby? And she didn't have words to say. They ended up finding the baby in her backyard, buried, and she just cried and saying, I don't know what I did. I'm so sorry. And they took the baby, and the officer said, like, she really meant it. Like, she genuinely meant it. She didn't know what she did. So, love goes to her. Unfortunately, things happen, and that's that. So, again, we're going to cut the depressing part. Let's get back to
Yeah, yeah.
Dia de los Muertos. So, Dia de los Muertos. Okay. I actually want to talk about a couple. This couple was my tia and my tío. They were really the opposites attract
Wow.
type of couple. My tia, her name was Tia Isabel and Tío Martin, and unfortunately they're not here with us anymore. She was a beautiful woman. It didn't matter if you were an alcoholic, if you were drugs. She would always find the positive out of you. Like, yeah, she didn't care. She would treat you like you were $1 million. And she was that typical Mexican woman that she made sure everybody was fed before she sat down. Very loving. My uncle, on the other hand,
Not loving.
he just didn't give, excuse my language, he didn't give a rat's ass. Like, he would be real with you 24/7. Like, he didn't care if nobody liked him or not.
That reminds me of that couple from that '70s show, the mom and the dad.
Yeah,
Red.
yeah, kind of like,
Her mom,
yeah, yeah,
like, she's like sweet and like, oh,
yeah,
Lucky.
yeah,
And Red's all like,
yeah, kind of like that.
everyone needs to get out of my house.
Yeah, that's how he was. I will never forget an incident where I was sitting down. So they had property in Tijuana, and they would always, every time my parents came, they loved having us there.
Yeah.
So they would like have carne asada, and we would just chill in front of their house. And I will never forget that my tia's cooking the carne asada. My tio's hanging out with the boys, because when my tio and my dad would sit in front of the neighborhood, all the men came through, like,
Yeah.
with their
That
beer,
free food.
yeah, the drinks
That
and all
free
that
beer.
stuff. Yeah, so I remember my tia was cooking, and this man who was kind of bummy looking
Oh, okay.
come forth, and he's like, I'm really hungry. And my tia, being so sweet that she is, here she comes,
plate.
grabs a plate, and starts putting the carne asada, the rice, the beans, everything. And my tío, being heartless how he is, loved the man. He would say,
Where's the money for the
no,
plate?
he would say, don't feed them. They're like dogs. You feed one.
Oh my
And they would come back.
Oh.
Yeah. So my tío would be like, ay, Martin. And he's like, what? It's the truth. And we would just be like, damn, my tío was a savage. Like, he gave no F's. Like, he really didn't. But he was so funny when he would say it. Like, we'd be like, what? It's like one of those things where you thought about it, but... So, yeah.
Like, you would be canceled in today's time.
For sure. For sure.
So, okay.
But he didn't care. Like, I don't care. So, anyways, another story I will never forget is that my tío, again, he was heartless. he ended up losing his sight. So my tia passed away, and then he lived for a couple more years, and then he passed away. But he lost his sight, and I have my cousin who, over time she gained weight,
Yeah.
and he was there in the room, and he tells her, he's all like, he t- he tells her like, Mija, and he's like, yes, Theo, what do you need anything? She gets up, being sweet, attending him, and
Yeah.
like, oh, do you need something, Theo? Like, no, I just wanted to ask you a question.
That's gorda.
No, he's like, did you gain weight?
Oh.
Right, and she was like, how would he know? Like, he's blind, right? Like,
Oh.
yeah, here and there, Theo, it is
Wait a
what it
minute,
is.
so was he 100% blind?
Yeah, he was 100% blind. He couldn't see
And
anymore.
he just was it like astigmatism where he just gradually, or what happened?
Well,
Oh.
she asked him like in her mind as she's telling me the story, because I'm cracking up as she's telling me the story. She's like, yeah, I was wondering how he knew, because he can't see, and he says to her, he's like, I can hear my floors cracking. That's why I'm asking you.
Ay, Tío Martín.
So, she would like think in her mind like, este desgraciado, like, yeah, she's like, ha ha ha, Theo, you're funny, and then walks away, and I could not stop laughing.
I'd be like, pues damn that wooden floor. And you try to go get a snack. At
Sold
midnight.
me out.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, I'm just trying to get a freaking snack.
You're like,
Go back to bed.
shh.
I know.
Tío Martin's gonna hear.
I know, right? I'm over here. I'm like, okay, don't eat past 7. I don't want it, Oh
So
my God.
bless their heart. I hope they're doing well. I miss them, love them. Yeah, when they left, our world came crashing down. It was a very depressing year, because one of the best couples that left our lives. So that I wanted to throw that out there in
Now, I have a
remembrance.
question,
Yes.
because in our other episode we talked about, or actually our test run,
Uh-huh.
we talked about if I pass away, I want my boyfriend to pass away immediately, or I don't want my boyfriend to have a relationship. Or did I say that? Or maybe
Yeah, yeah.
never mind.
No, you said that. You said that.
Did Tío Martín get with anyone after? Tío?
He did, but it wasn't like that.
Okay, it was just like,
No, well, it's because I don't even feel like it was a relationship, to be honest. Like, he would be
was
outside.
companionship.
Yeah, he would be outside, and she would serve him the coffee, and that was it. Yeah, and so, my mom didn't like that, because my tia was everything, and I feel like you can never replace someone like that. So, but he did say to my mom, like, what? I mean, I don't see her. Like, I can't see her. I don't know if she's ugly or not. Like, she brings me my coffee. That's all.
Ooh.
But it wasn't, I feel like
wait
it
a
was
minute,
just.
Tío Martín pulling girls black?
O sea, check out my tío.
That's the game for me.
So, yeah, I don't really feel like it was a relationship. It was just, like you said, a companionship. It is what it is. Yeah. And then he died a couple years later. So I really think that he missed his soulmate. And yeah. So shout out to them.
Well, I have one more story. With one of my loved ones. It's my tío Ernesto. And I kind of remember him very vaguely, but that's just when we would take family trips to California. We used to go to California once a year. So it's not my first time being in California. However, it is the first time being in San Diego.
I'm sorry, is your tío from your mom's side or your dad?
My tío is from my mom's side.
Okay.
So this is actually my grandpa's brother.
Okay.
So my grandpa, my Ito, his brother is my tío Ernesto.
Okay.
And he lived in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
And so he passed away. But before that, he actually, because he lived in San Francisco, California, my mom, who is from San Antonio, Texas, wanted to take a trip to California. She was like, I think 19. She just was like, you know what? I want to do it. I just want to take a road trip. She did tell me that it took her 6 months to get to California. I'm like,
what?
Did you go around the world?
Right.
And she said, no, she stopped by different places on the way, partied with
Oh,
friends.
that's
I'm
cool.
like, by yourself, bro?
Oh,
And-
she did it by herself.
Yeah, well, I think she did go by herself. So she like kind of.
What's your mama's name?
Isabel or Christina?
Mama, wait.
Let's call her Chris.
Mama Chris, that's risky. I respect that.
But
Around
she
the
did
world
it.
by herself.
No kids, no boyfriend, no.
Oh, okay.
Anybody. So she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. Sounds familiar. So she went to California. She eventually ended up in San Francisco with my tío Ernesto, and that's what was her whole plan, was to visit. And my tío, actually, him and I share a birthday. We are both our birthdays are on September 30th.
Oh, okay.
But the kicker here is that my dad. So my dad is actually from Mexico as well, Colima, Manzanillo, and he crossed over through TJ, through San Diego, and ended up in San Francisco
Okay.
legally. So it's like, but so he was here, and
Listen, someone has to make a sacrifice.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So a lot of sacrifice happened in my family. So thank God, because I'm here, I wouldn't be here if it
Yeah.
wasn't for them.
Yeah.
But so my dad crossed over, and he ended up in San Francisco, and actually worked for my tío Ernesto.
Oh, okay.
And he was in, I think, believe in construction, something around those lines. And my mom, I believe, worked for my tío or was visiting and actually met my dad through there.
Ooh,
And
okay.
so my mom and dad met. They, kicked it really, really quickly, and she ended up pregnant with my older brother. Um,
Okay.
I'm hearing 3 months later. So I'm like, oh my God, mom. And she actually stayed in California, wanted to build a life in San Francisco. Um, and San Francisco back then, I'm sure was a little bit more affordable, but still had that city style where you kind of lived in. If you weren't making it, you kind of lived in
Yeah.
sketchy areas. And then so she had my brother, who was born in California, and then was pregnant with me. And my grandpa and my grandma, of course my mom's mom and my mom's dad, Ito and my Memo, they were like begging my mom, please come back to Texas, please come to San Antonio,
Oh.
like we want to see the grandkids, we miss you, we
Mm.
don't think you're safe there, and kind of promised my dad the family business, which at the time my grandpa was into flooring,
Okay.
and so was and kind of build a clientele, and kind of told my mom, my dad, hey, I promise you, you guys come to Texas, come live here, bring mis nietos, and I want to take care of them, and
Oh.
yeah, so my mom came back. So it was crazy because my life is repeating itself.
Yeah.
Same thing with my mom. My
Kind of
mom's
following your
like
mom's
looking.
footsteps,
I
huh?
know.
Not
So
purposely, but
yeah,
Yeah,
my
that's
kind of my
funny.
mom kind of got to feel what her mom felt like. I miss you. Please come home.
Mm.
Now my mom is not like promising us a family business, but she does wants us to go back. So
Yeah.
eventually we will. But yeah, so I just want to, my dad Ernesto was so sweet. I remember going to his house. And I remember setting up the fire alarm and making a whole scene on
Mm.
accident, and I just remember that
The fire
vaguely.
alarm.
But yeah, I just want to say, my dear Ernesto, I'm happy that I got to meet you, and because of you, I'm here. I feel
Aw.
like.
Thank you, Tío Ernesto.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
how are we doing on time?
I restarted it.
Oh, you restart. Oh,
You didn't even let us know?
No.
it was a quick button. Oh, recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I wonder
Dude,
what
you
time.
got to focus too. You're not really being communicative over here.
Come on, dude.
And we're back. So
Yeah.
Tío Ernesto, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tio.
Yeah.
I miss you, and I
Oh.
love you. I love my Ito. I love my Tio Ernesto. But yeah, I'm really grateful that we're able to talk about them and honor them, and
Yeah.
that's why this holiday is so important for us, Hispanics and Latinos. So it's always good to kind of share back and remember where we came from.
Yeah. I do have another story I want to tell. So we just lost her this year. My grandma Alicia. She was fun. She was really fun with our grandkids because she would try to spend time with you in your own way. So if you were really into the kitchen, she would try to get in the kitchen. If you were, a novela kind of girl, there she was watching a novela with you. Even if you were like the plebes that made trouble outside, there she was. Now the difference between my grandma is that when my grandpa passed away, she ended up getting a stroke and half of her body,
Oh yeah,
she couldn't move half of her body.
it goes numb or
Yeah,
paralyzed.
it went paralyzed. But that didn't stop her. So she would like, she had a baston, and it was funny because we always called him grandpa because she always had him. Always. No matter where she went, she had him. So when she would say, mija,
Let me
yeah,
know.
yeah, that's what she would say.
Let
So
me
yeah,
know.
yeah. So there we went to, grab grandpa. So, we I just love that about her because that didn't stop her. She continued to do what she wanted to do. She never stayed in one place. Like we have family everywhere from Mexicali to San Diego to Vegas, and she always moved.
She was traveling.
Yeah. So she was really funny. Feel like our smart comments come from her. I really do feel that way because the things that she would say. I'm going to go ahead and share a story. I actually shared this story. All her grandkids, well, her granddaughters had to share, like, we had to do a speech in her funeral. And I'm going to repeat, I'm sorry for all my primos. I have to hear the story again, but it's one of my favorite stories. She was here actually her last years. We ended up taking care of her. And she was still good. She eventually ended up having dementia. So yeah, she wasn't there all the time. But the one story that I want to share is that she was here. Every Sunday she would get ready for church. She would get ready, brush her hair, come over here and sat down at the table with her Bible ready to go. And I remember I think I was sitting in the living room putting on my eyeliner to do my makeup. And she was staring at me and she was like looking and she's like, Mija, why don't you do my makeup? And I was like, Grandma, I'm not a makeup artist. Like, I don't do that. Like, I'm scared that I'm going to mess you
I
up.
want you to look like a clown.
Yeah. And she's like, no. Like, very sweet. Like, just do it. We can walk in there and be cute together. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, Grandma. So, so I end up, doing, and it's funny because I have a picture of her. We'll post it on there if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll post all of our pictures of our loved ones.
Yeah. So, I ended up doing her makeup. I didn't do much. I just filled in her eyebrows and then did like a deep eyeliner. Yeah. So as I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, she does look okay. She looks cute. She looks at me and I tell her, I'm like, do you want me to get you a mirror so you can see? She's like, yeah. So I go and get her a mirror. And as I'm giving her the mirror, she literally dies laughing in my face. Like, she's cracking up so hard. And I'm like, what's so funny? And she's like, parezco chola como tú, mija. And I was just like, damn, the roast session. Yeah. The roast session got real. She was just going on saying like, no, like we're gonna be cholas in church. Like, yeah, let's go do our territory and all this. Like, she was roasting me left and right. So I just want to tell Grandma, I miss you. I love you, and I hope that this is a remembrance of you, and we all your grandkids and kids miss you. And yeah, it was very touching when we had to bury her. I felt like it was the day that everybody really, because we had drama, but at that moment we didn't care. Like, damn, we buried a special lady.
Unfortunately, funerals or reunions is where people kind of get together.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's sad. Yeah.
That sometimes family don't see each other and only see each other during
yeah.
funeral time.
Mm-hmm.
But that can also be healing.
Yeah.
What is your grandma's name?
Grandma Alicia.
Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So shout out to Grandma.
Rest in paradise.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish it off with. I know that everybody on social media probably knows. Mind you, we just found out today, but we're gonna post this on Thursday. So today is what, Sunday?
Today's Sunday, so
Yeah.
it's a 4-day lag, but
yeah. Friends, America's sitcom. Yeah. Friends. I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, Chandler. His name was Matthew Perry. He died at 54 years old. I guess they found him in his bathtub. Yeah, hot tub. Yes.
It was crazy because when I first heard, I thought, okay, when you see celebrities that are a little bit older, not saying that he was like old or anything, but you're thinking like, health issues, something that happened with his heart.
Yeah.
But for me to hear that he actually drowned in a hot tub, that was something that kind of hit, harder because it's like it's not, it wasn't like a natural cause.
No, and like you said, I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood, when they get into drugs, they find like drugs in their system, and it's just sad, because I don't really feel like he's that old.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's young, and I say that because I'm not that far. I don't know. I'm not gonna age myself. But no, it's super sad. It's like fame is a hell of a drug. Too.
Yeah.
And it's like that desire. And I don't know the cause of, I just read articles of him, like, with drugs. I don't know if that's just extra added,
Right.
for clickbait
Sometimes
and
they put
stuff.
a lot of crema in los tacos too.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
again, we don't want to judge people. That's not how we
Yeah.
are.
No.
But what they had a good run. It was I looked it up. It was 1994 that Friends. It was
Yeah.
their first season, and they had 10 seasons, and it ended in 2004.
So 10 years.
Wow.
And honestly, I've seen Friends. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I was never really an avid Friends watcher.
Yeah, me either.
We kind of talked it over the break, but I'm more of like How I Met Your Mother.
Same.
So I know
Same.
that's a newer show, but Friends will always be remembered as just a group of friends hanging out.
Yeah.
Super funny. It's a sitcom. My favorite was Phoebe. She was super, super funny, like dumb funny, but I kind of get.
I
That
feel like
humor.
because I have those moments, the boba moments where I'm like, oh.
I know, right? You're like, did I do that in the version?
Right,
That might be
right.
fun. But
So,
yeah, no, I think that it's super sad because that show is so iconic. That show is
mm-hmm.
so known, especially in our generation.
Yeah.
So to see people in our generation starting to pass away is pretty scary.
Yeah, it's pretty sad too. I feel for all the cast members, his family,
Yeah.
and the fans, because, I know Friends was a big, big deal.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going to end it with that. Dia de los Muertos, shout out to him and his family as well. And, yeah, we'll get on to episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2 for sure. No 2.0. Should not be no 2.0. But hopefully we did a little bit better.
Hopefully the sound is perfectly fine as well. We're going to see again. We have a minute and 32 seconds. So episode 2, I think, do we know what we're going to talk about episode 2?
Episode 2 is going to be a wild card. We'll announce our topic. It is November, so,
Okay.
something to think about. But stay tuned. We'll be, as we get more, we'll be more cheese.
Our shot for the lost loved ones and 2.0 episode.
Yeah.
So, salud guys.
Salud.
Thank you for tuning in with me, Yaya and Bee, on Chillin N
Chismeando.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're excited, and let us know if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about. We're excited, and thank you.
Salud.